Hello students, I made this video as a reminder for our lessons in our classroom. I know we have discussed this paper 2 from May-June 2013. I hope you can use this video in the event that you might forget my explanation, so you might want to revisit the lesson using this video. Right, so these are the questions I want to discuss at the moment. It's 2A from the section B. It asks, explain why the free market is ineffective in arriving at correct price for merit goods and demerit goods. If you look into our syllabus, despite this question is from May-June 2013, if you look into page 14 in our syllabus for 2019 exam, you will be able to see at the section about classification of goods and services, there is a mention that students should understand about merit goods and demerit goods in relation to the outcome of imperfect information by consumers. Okay, so since this is an 8 marks question, do you remember on how to answer an 8 marks question? Correct. We will be using the DEED, D, E, E, and D. Definition, examples, explanation, and diagram. Okay? So if you look into this question, explain why the free market is ineffective in arriving at the correct price for merit goods and demerit goods, what will you answer first? What definition will you write? Okay? The straightforward one will be the free market. All right, so free market. Do you remember the definition of free market? Yeah, it is a condition of no government intervention whatsoever upon the market mechanism of transaction between buyers and sellers. So there's no government intervention in a free market. What's the next definition that you would like to write to answer this question? Okay. Correct price. Yes. What is correct price? Definition of correct price. What is a correct price anyway? Correct price is the level of price which incorporates all costs and benefits involved in a transaction. You may use your own words, but make sure that it mentions all costs and benefit involved in a transaction. Okay? Because that's the correct price. When all informations are cleared for all parties. Okay? The next definition, what is the next definition that you would write about this question? Okay, you might want to write the definition of merit goods and demerit goods. Okay, merit goods and demerit goods. So, do you remember the definition of merit goods? Yes, it is the merit goods are goods with positive externality, which is having external benefit upon third party, while demerit goods are goods with negative externality, which exposes third party to some costs caused by a transaction between two parties. Okay, so I think we are done with the definitions to answer this question. The next thing is examples. can you give example of merit goods? Yes, you might want to use education. Can you explain why education gives external benefit? Yes, because when someone has undergone an education, he or she might or will give benefits to the society with better performance, with more knowledgeable actions, results of researches. Education will give external benefit upon the society. Other than education, you might also want to write vaccination. Okay? Because vaccination will be able to provide protection for those people who don't consume immunization, vaccination. Okay? Now, for the merit good, what kind of goods will you write? Okay, the most common example of demerit goods is cigarette. Because a consumption of a consumer when he or she is enjoying his cigarette next to a passive smoker, the passive smoker will in the future experience some health problems. Then that third party, the passive smoker, will have to pay for the cost of healthcare. Okay, there is a cost for third party. Another example of demerit good would be alcohol. Okay, in the case of alcohol, drunk driving is very rampant in so many places in the world. Drunk driving has been causing so many griefs for families all over the world. So it creates an external cost for third party. Okay, so we are done with definition. We're done with examples. How will you explain? What kind of explanation needed for this? Okay, we might want to skip explanation because you might need to explain your diagram actually. Okay, so maybe the next thing that you want to write is you want to draw is your diagram. Let's try to draw the diagram of merit goods. Okay, so let's say this is a market for education. As you have explained before, education is merit good. Okay, and do you remember that merit good is giving the external benefit? Okay, now this is the y-axis and this is the x-axis. We label the y-axis with P and the x-axis with Q because this is a market diagram. Okay, this is demand and this is supply. Okay, now demand is actually the marginal profit benefit curve. Okay, because it is showing the marginal benefit that the consumer itself is having for every quantity, every level of quantity. Okay, now the supply curve is actually the marginal profit cost. Okay, you remember that? Yes. Unfortunately, merit good is giving external benefit. Now, do you remember the marginal, the social benefit is the addition of private benefit plus external benefit. Okay? We know this is the basic thinking on calculating the social benefit. Since this is the marginal private benefit, where should we write the social benefit? Correct. So it's the marginal social benefit curve will be higher than the marginal private benefit curve because there is an external benefit here. External benefit. Okay? Now, for every level of quantity, there will be higher benefit that the society will enjoy compared to the private benefit that the consumer is enjoying. Okay? So, if you let the market decide, this is the quantity in the market. That's the quantity which will be consumed by the consumer at this price level. That's PM, price in the market. Okay? The consumer has no care about the external benefit caused by the education that they enjoy. Maybe they don't have the correct information about the external benefit that they are giving to the society. So this external benefit is the consumers are unaware of these external benefit. If only the consumers understand that there's external benefit and realize it and willing to pay for it, the price, the value of their education is supposed to be here. That's the price efficient. And they should have been consuming this much, quantity efficient. As you can see here, for merit goods, there is a tendency for underconsumption. Underconsumption. Okay, underconsumption. Okay, underconsumption of merit good. As you can see here, the discrepancy between the price in the market and the price efficient, that is the incorrect price. If you let the market decide on the price of merit goods. So the price efficient for efficient resource allocation is supposed to be at PE. Unfortunately, the market decides that the willingness and ability to pay for this level of quantity is at PM. This is what we call incorrect price. Okay? So that is the case with merit good, and that's how you explain merit goods. Okay? All right. Let's move on with demerit good. Okay. Demerit good. Now, if we understand about merit good, it might help you to explain about demerit good. Okay? Now, as you can see here, the social benefit is equal to private benefit plus external benefit. What about the social cost? So, social cost in the case of demerit good is actually equal to private cost, which is incurred by the suppliers, by the maker, by the sellers, by the producer, plus the external cost, which will be paid by the external party, which is not involved in the transaction. That's the external cost. So social cost is equal to private cost plus the external cost. Okay? Now let's try to draw the diagram of demerit good. Okay, this is the market diagram: price, quantity, demand, and supply. Okay, supply is the marginal private cost. Demand is the marginal private benefit. Now, as you can see here, the private cost will have to be added with external cost. Okay, so that the social cost, the marginal social cost, will be higher than the marginal private cost. Okay, in the case of demerit good, MPB will be equal to the MSB. All right. Now, if you let the market to decide the price for cigarette, market for cigarette, if you let the market decide the quantity and the price, those will be the price and the quantity in the market. This does not incorporate the external cost. This price and quantity does not incorporate external cost, because if the sellers and buyers realize about the external cost, they should have been transacting this product over here at QE at this price level, PE. As you can see here, there is a discrepancy here. This is the price in the market, and this is the price of fission. As you can see here, PM is incorrect price. Okay? So that's how you explain the demerit goods. With that, you will get 8 marks.